the search for Muriel McKay, who vanished back in December 1969, has moved to. This is a latest development in a long-running saga in which the Muriel's family have been desperately trying to find her remains. Two brothers, Arthur and Nizamuddin Hussain, were convicted of the murder of Muriel back at the Old Bailey in 1970. It was the first time anyone in this country has ever been convicted of murder without a victim's body being found. And since then, the family have continued to strive to try and find Muriel's remains. There have been two police searches at a farm where Muriel was held by the brothers on the Herts and Essex borders at Stocking Pelham. Those searches carried out over the last couple of years produced nothing. In a last desperate attempt to find Muriel's remains, the family have offered a £1 million reward for any information leading to the recovery of her remains. Now, this has produced three potential leads, two of which the family do not have that much confidence in. But the third lead revolves around this building behind me, this Betfred office, which once upon a time, in 1969, used to be a Jewish tailor. Now, that shop was run by a tailor, Percy Chaplin, who employed Arthur Hussain, one of the kidnappers, in fact, the leading kidnappers. The shop itself was where Arthur sat and watched as the police, an undercover police officer posing as Muriel's daughter, travelled in a Rolls Royce to drop off the ransom at a phone box to where I'm standing now. She was subsequently given instructions to move to another phone box, but the family believe it is an important part of the story. They now believe that Muriel was kidnapped from Wimbledon, Arthur Road, where she was living with her husband Alec, an important newspaper executive who helped form the Sun, or the current modern Sun as we know it. From Arthur Road, Wimbledon, she was taken to Stocking Pelham Farm, and they now think that from Stocking Pelham Farm, Muriel's body, she may have been dead by then, they presume she was brought here to the East End, and somewhat gruesomely.
It's the final destination, to coin a phrase, because there were three properties involved in the kidnap. One being my grandmother's home in Wimbledon, two being Rook's Farm and Stocking Pelham, and number three was Bethnal Green Road. And the narrative behind that, the last final destination, is this shop was the shop where Arthur Hussain worked, where Arthur Hussain watched the Rolls Royce pull up and deliver the ransom, the second ransom, at this phone box that stood here. And this was the first phone box in a series of telephone box drop-offs in the ransom. And so it makes sense that the children of the owner, the children of the previous tenant, long-term tenant, have come forward who used to play in this shop and live in this shop, with the truth that their father revealed just before he died in 2023. So my grandmother was transported here apparently, and this is Ian's mother, so I'm just trying to be definitive in what I say, but this is a very emotional thing for me to say from my family's point of view. But she was brought here, obviously dead, and as we all would be, in a state of decomposure. And there was stated to be a horrific smell in the shop. They weren't allowed down in the basement for a day, and the next day the smell was gone. And the father said the reason that was because she was buried under a tree in the garden. And this makes sense that the Hussain brothers wanted another safe burial place because they were after the ransom. If the body was found, my grandmother's body was found by anybody, then the ransom deal was off. And so they had a check for £1 million coming in. They could pay off people as and when they needed to, or make them promises to keep it quiet. And I guess she was already dead, so no one else could be involved in actually killing her.
We had these three responses from our offer, from the £1 million offer. None of them were interested in the money. But the third one just made sense to us all because this brother and sister have risked a lot in terms of their own personal reputation to in fact say that their father was involved. And if she's not there, then what? Then
Then it clears the deck, doesn't it, for everybody?
it clears there. Yeah, absolutely.